begin the design of the transition logic, we'll start with the master or background scene. So what I'll do is just come in here, right click in our scene database and say create a new scene, and you can call it whatever you want. Call it something simple to remember. I call mine master. And if we double click on that, you can see down here our scene is now loaded and we're ready to go. Organization is a huge thing within transition logic scenes, so I encourage you to rename all your containers and try to keep it organized as best you can. This is going to be our lower third design, so I'm just going to call this L3 design. And this is where we're going to start building our lower third. To begin with, I'm just going to use a Nagi. So I'm going to slide a Nagi down here. And there's a couple things with the Nagi that I'll want to change. So first, the stretch, I want to put that at 0. My corners, I'm just going to put at 0 as well. I want to stretch it all the way across. So let's type in 550 and or increase it a bit as well. We're going to start off small, and I also want to change our horizontal alignments and vertical alignments. I'm going to start with the bottom and set mine to left. I'm also going to bring it down near the bottom of the screen here, and remember we have our concepts, so if you need to know where you want to place it, we can grab our snapshot if we want, and we can place it down within our scene settings in the background image here, so we can see where to align our graphic or lower third here, and we can see how high we want to make it. So we roughly want to do something like that. I want it to grow from the bottom in the initial stages, so that's why I set it at bottom here. Now we want to add some color to it, so I'm just going to use a fairly simple texture here, and we're going to use this blue image. I'm going to drop that blue image onto it, and I'm going to keep it at linear, but I just may want to scale out the scaling X and the scaling Y here to get it to the place of the design where I want. So I'm just going to type in 3.37, 1.91, and let's just move it up a little bit like that. And let's say we want to scale it out, or have it look something like this. Again, you can tweak and make it look however you want. You can use materials and or whatever images you want. So I want to start creating animations with this, and the first thing that I want to do is have my Nagi here scale up. So I'm just going to use my Nagi setting to do that. I'm going to set a keyframe wherever you want. We can advance our timeline to 50 or 60, however you want to do it. I'm going to set a keyframe, and then I'm going to rewind my timeline and take my Nagi down to 0 and hit set key. If we go into the stage, we can now see that we have this animation of our Nagi animating up. If you want to turn your background scene off, you can. We hit play, and there's our Nagi. Now in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start making my stop points. Remember, this is a multiple state scene, so naming of the stop points is going to be very critical for us. And the first thing that I want to do is come up into my Nagi, and again, you can rename this, so we can call this L3 banner, or you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to come up into my director, and I want to rename my director already, so I'm going to go ahead and rename this L3, something simple that we can remember. And it will help if you write that name down there, the L3, because we will need that later. Now that I have my director renamed, I'm going to start adding my stop point. So I rewind my timeline all the way, and I'm going to click add stop. And then I'm also going to add another stop point at the end of the animation. I'm going to go ahead and start naming this. So I'm going to name this stop point O, capital O for out. I'm going to name this stop point A, because that's my first state within our transition logic scene. Now I'm going to move on to our next stop. So I know that I want the banner to grow so that we can have a big text, and I'm going to go into the stage and or Nagi, and you can do it however you want. I'm just going to set a keyframe here again, and then I'm going to make this grow a little bit more. Now you can see we may need to tweak our texture a little bit as far as the design purpose, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so we have our banner. Now I may want to add a little bit of a material on this too, just to darken it up a little bit. So I have a blue material. I'm just going to drag that down onto our banner as well. So what we have so far is we'll turn our background scene off. We'll go and hit continue. It comes there, and then we hit continue once more, and it grows. I'm going to go into my stage and add another stop point here. So I'm going to highlight my director, click add stop, and I'm going to name this stop point B.